Fentanyl withdrawal timelines can be particularly difficult to establish due to the multiple illicit forms in which the drug appears. These non-pharmaceutical varieties, laced with illicit drugs such as heroin, inject the withdrawal process with an element of uncertainty. In general, early-stage withdrawal effects may be experienced in as few as 3 or 4 hours following dosage. Peak symptoms typically appear within 1 to 2 days and subside within a week or two in most cases. After enduring the initial acute withdrawal stage, a client in early recovery from fentanyl transitions to a longer, less intense phase known as post-acute withdrawal symptom, pause. Depending upon the intensity and duration of their fentanyl addiction, pause may affect users for months or even years. In rare instances, permanent damage is sustained as a result of the potent and unpredictable drug's interaction with individual biochemistry. One of the primary goals of fentanyl detox is to minimize or prevent precipitated withdrawal, the rapid and potentially dangerous acceleration of withdrawal symptoms. Fentanyl may be undetectable by urine under certain circumstances, but in designated tests it may appear for up to 24 hours. Saliva tests generally detect the drug for a period of 1 to 3 days, less than other opiates. Fentanyl is relatively short-lived in the bloodstream, with a maximum duration of approximately 12 hours. Hair samples provide the most accurate long-term result, with traces appearing for up to 90 days following dosage.
Actor and more stars who died from fentanyl overdoses. Fentanyl has become one of the deadliest substances on the planet. The powerful narcotic, a synthetic opioid that's cheap to produce, is frequently mixed with recreational street drugs or prescription painkillers, creating a terrifyingly lethal combination that continues to claim more lives with each passing day. We're taking a look back at some of the bold-faced names we've lost to fentanyl over the years. Former child actor Adam Rich, who's best known for his work as Nicholas Bradford, the youngest son on the 70s and 80s ABC show 8 is Enough, died at his home in Los Angeles in January 2023. He was 54. 5 months later in June 2023, the Los Medical Examiner Coroner's Office confirmed that the star died from the effects of fentanyl and ruled his death accidental. Inside America's Zombieland, Philadelphia's Kensington neighborhood looks like a scene from The Walking Dead as grim photos show tranq addicts shooting up in broad daylight on sidewalks. The Kensington neighborhood of Philadelphia, known as Ground Zero for the city's drug epidemic, is in crisis due to widespread abuse of an animal tranquilizer called xylazine. Addicts are shooting up in broad daylight, hunched over in a stupor or the streets. Many have raw, gaping wounds in desperate need of medical attention, and there are needles, syringes and garbage littered across the sidewalks. Here photographs lay bare the shocking scale of devastation in the inner-city area, described by the Philadelphia Inquirer as the poorest neighborhood in America's poorest big city, which is being ravaged by the newly popular and dangerous drug. The city's drug use and violence has run rampant under woke District Attorney Larry Krasner, whose failure to prosecute minor crimes and bail request policies have come with an uptick in crime in the city of brotherly love. Republicans in the Pennsylvania State Senate voted for his impeachment over what they deem a dereliction of duty. The future of the progressive prosecutor remains unclear, as the party line vote was indefinitely postponed earlier this month. Kensington, which up until the 1950s was a bustling industrial district, is now described by the Philadelphia Inquirer as the poorest neighborhood in America's poorest big city. Xylazine leaves users in a blackout stupor, making them vulnerable to violent attacks and rape. The inner-city district has long been a magnet for drug users seeking their next high, but the scale of problems caused by xylazine is shocking even to locals who have become accustomed to such distressing scenes. Philip Moore, chief medical officer for the nonprofit treatment provider Gaudenzia, told the paper that weaning people off xylazine is a complicated procedure. We'll start treating for opioid withdrawal, and they should be getting better. But we'll see chills, sweating, restlessness, anxiety, agitation, he said. They're very, very unpleasant symptoms. That's what triggers us that we're dealing with a more complicated withdrawal, that there's more xylazine in the mix.